Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about iterators in Python, and we will also see looping with iterators and stop iteration methods. So let's get started with it. First of all, what is an iterator? Suppose you have a tuple or you have an array and you want to extract like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what you'll do, 1 and then you'll extract 2, like 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 2 plus 1 is 3. So you'll extract 3. So that is the meaning of iteration. So basically, an iterator is an object that contains a countable number of values. An iterator is an object that can be iterated upon, up meaning that you can traverse through all the values. So this means that with the help of an iterator, you can traverse the values up to which you want to traverse. Like if you want to traverse the whole list or an array, you can do that. If you want to traverse with some point basically of your choice, then you can do that with the help of an iterator. An iterator contains two methods, iter and next. We will see what are these methods. So first of all, I have taken a list. The list contains 5 elements, and now to use iter, we are creating the object of this. Iter is basically a method, and it also contains next in it. So what happens is basically next helps to get the value which is next. Suppose here we are creating, first of all we have created an object and we have passed a list in this. So print next it. So what it does is it prints the first value, which is 4, and then if we write it again, then it prints the second value. So basically next contains some, maybe internally it has some variables which keep the track of the number which have already printed and what we want to print next. So it contains that. Let me run this and show to you. So you can see that we have all the 5 values printed. What if we write only 4 times? Let's see that too. And you can see that only 4 values get printed. And if you write 5 times, so you can get all the 5 values and then so on. So here we are taking a list. Now I'm taking another example, which is a string basically. So we are doing the same thing, like we are creating a object of iter class and then we are passing the string. So here you can notice that here we are using another kind of syntax. Like first of all we are writing the name of the object and then dot and then writing the next method. Here we have done something different, so you can do whatever you want to, like both are very both are the same thing basically. So let me run this and show to you. Yes, here is the output. So you can see that if we have written like it's print 6 times, so we get a whole Python. What we if we write one more time? Let's see that too. So it gives us an error which is stop iteration. We are going to see stop iteration in a while. So let me remove this and run again. So here you can see the output. Now what is an iterator and what is an iterable? So iterator is the object which helps to iterate over the whole list or tuple or dictionary, sets, array, and any iterable object. And iterable is the object like an array from which you are iterating. Like this is an iterable. No, this is an iterable, and then whatever we are iterating is the iterator. Basically, it is the iterator. So list, tuples, dictionary, sets are iterable objects and they are iterable containers which you can get an iterator from. Now we will see what is looping in iterator. So looping through an iterator, we can use a for loop while iterating the list or an array. So what I have done is I have written a for loop for I is our variable in it. This is the syntax of for loop. For I in lst the list. So it will run till the whole list is not completed. Like for all the five values, the for loop will run. And let me run and show to you. So it will print all the five values in the list. So looping is basically, it is a very small code. You can see only two lines of code and all the values get printed. But in using the next function, we have to like write multiple times, like print it next. So to avoid that, what you can do is you can do looping, and you can easily print all the values in your iterable object to get like to know what are the values it contains. So it is so easy to use. I have taken another example which we have taken previously also. Here I am printing the letters of the word. So the same syntax for I in S is the object, S is the string basically. So print I, and it gives us Python. So that is all about looping. It's so easy and it's so like manageable. Now we are trying to do like create an iterator. You know that iterator contains two methods, iter and next. So what we are doing here is we have a class my numbers, and we are defining two methods, underscore underscore iter underscore underscore. And then what we are doing is we are passing self. We have already know like what is self, and we are assigning self dot a equals to 1. So whatever value uh, we are taking, we are assigning to 1 to it, and we are returning self. And then what we are doing is we are creating another method next, and we are passing the same thing self in it. And x is the variable x, we are assigning x self dot a. And what then we are doing is self dot a plus equals to 1. Plus equals to is assignment operator. You can also write self dot a is equals to self dot a plus 1, or you can write like this. Both means the same. So to avoid writing so much, we are using self dot a plus equals to 1. So what it does is like suppose self.a contains 1. Now self.a will contain 1 plus 1, which is 2. And then we are returning that x variable then. So now we are creating an object of our class my numbers, and we are uh, creating an object of my iter also. So we are creating an object named myIter, and what we are doing is we are like passing my class into it. We have already seen that we pass the iterable objects in the object we create. So we are passing my class into it, and then what we are doing is we are printing it. And let me run this and we'll see. So what is happening here? First of all, it runs, and it first time it runs it gives us 1. Then what happens is 1 is added to 1 itself, and we get 2. Then 1 is added to 2, and then we get 3. So this is how it works basically, because what we are doing is we are passing next function also here. So next function is adding 1 to the previous value. So you can understand like that 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 3, and so on. So it will, we have written it 5 times, so it gives us 5. If we like write one more time, and I'm running it, so it will gives us like 6 values. So this is how it works. Now I'm giving you an example of using what is stop iteration and how you can like uh, use this. So here we have the same thing. Some of the things are the same. Like first of all, we are creating an method iter, and then we are assigning it a value 1. We are returning the self, and we have a function next. And what it contains is, if self dot a is less than equals to 20, x equals to self dot a, and self dot a plus 1 plus equals to 1, return x. So what it will do, so up to 20 it will do this process, and after that it will raise an exception, which is stop iteration. We will learn about like exceptions and all. So it was it will raise an exception. Stop iteration is basically an exception in Python. So it will stop the iteration. We will get back to the normal, like we will get back, we will exit the loop, exit the class, and then we will get back to our whole the code. And it like it nothing will run after this, like our printing will get stopped because we are using stop iteration. Then after using this, no, this won't run, nothing will run basically. So let me show this to you. Like we are doing the same thing and creating an object and iter class, and we are using for loop here for my iter object and printing x. So let me run this and show to you. Okay, so here what you can see that we are getting values up to 20 only. Why so? Because we are here using condition of if that self dot a is less than 20, then only it will happen. As well as we are raising an exception stop, it tells that you stop the iteration, all the printing is done, and please stop the iteration. It means simple. So uh, we are getting values up to 20 only. Like if you write here 40, you will get values up to 40 only, because the loop will run only 40 times. So it works that way. And basically stop iteration, as already I told you, it is an exception, and we will learn about more about exception. But for a while, you remember that stop iteration stops the iteration of our code, and we will get up to the desired, like whatever we have taken the conditions, and according to that we get our result. So this was all about iterations, iterators, iterables, for loop. So this was all, and thank you everyone.